Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's a rainy night, some parts of Trinidad and Tobago, but nature is doing what it's got to do. So, viewers, Attorney General John Jeremy is maintaining his firm stance that the law applies equally to all, reiterating that anyone who breaks the law will be held accountable, regardless of status, regardless of wealth, regardless of social standing, regardless of if you're an influencer. You will abide by the law. Listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, I remain consistent in the position that whether it be the offenses listed in the finance bill or any other form of legislation being discussed in this House or the other pleas, those who break the law will be held to account. And for the fourth time in 4 days, I will say this. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whatever your links, your inside links to banks or government ministers or prime ministers, you will obey the law. And if you do not obey the law, you will suffer the consequences.
Trinidad and Tobago, the man telling you straight out as it is. Doesn't matter who you are, as long as you break the law in Trinidad and Tobago, you will face the consequences. So switching from that, viewers, Minister of Energy Rudal Munilal has confirmed that 2 new energy companies have expressed interest to invest in Trinidad and Tobago.
In a few days, we will meet 2 new players who we have never found before, Total Energies and Petronas. They are 2 global giants in this field, and in a few days we will meet to have some discussions as well.
Also, he revealed that Occidental Petroleum, which recently entered into arrangement to acquire an interest alongside ExxonMobil in the T&T Ultra Deep Water 1 project, is exploring additional investment opportunities right here in Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
Recently you saw Oxy here. I'm happy to announce as well that coming out of their visit here and talking to the Prime Minister, I think a few weeks ago, they have now expressed interest in the development of the Southwest Marine area.
The Minister said that this growing investor interest signal continue confidence in Trinidad and Tobago energy sector. So viewers, the Tobago West MP Joel Sampson has declared that the PNM is dead, hopefully in Tobago. He made the declaration as he contributed to the motion to adopt the report of the Standing Finance Committee in Parliament, recalling that Tobago suffered under the former PNM government. Sampson said that under the UNC government and Farley Augustine led THA, Tobago is now experiencing meaningful progress, with residents beginning to feel the impact of the new policies and program. Listen to this.
Realize all of a sudden they care about Tobago, they care about Tobago. You know when they're out of office, that is when they just care about Tobago? They were in office for 10 years. They had a THA administration, a PNM as well. But you know they had the playbook. Whatever they give to them, we could live with that. That is them, we could live with that. And then my predecessor, I hear she mouth big all of a sudden. I don't know where she come from. I bury she in a political grave long time. But all of a sudden, she have the most mouth talking about who don't talk and who don't care. Right now she in Tobago fighting for zero, trying to bring back a dead horse, trying to paint the face with mascara. You can't bring back a dead horse. PNM dead.
PNM dead in Tobago. PNM dead in Tobago is what Mr. Sampson said. Nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to let you know that Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on a fixed deposit. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is looking after you. How we are looking after you? Once you make an investment with our company, viewers, our financial institution, you are getting 7% per year on a 5 years fixed deposit at Real Talk Financing. No other financial institution is giving you that other than Real Talk Financing. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago. Also, if you're looking for a loan, Trinidad and Tobago, you can contact our office. We are located at Tobago Street in San Fernando. Also, Caroni Savannah Road in Shoguners, 2386716. You can contact me direct, viewers, and I will give you office numbers if there's too much. Remember that. So as we start off our program tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, you can connect with us via social media platform, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook, also TT Real Talk on YouTube. Remember that. So if you're traveling, you're going to work, you're on your way from work, you're traveling out of the country, you have internet on your phone, data, you can connect with us as we go live from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday with a rerun the next day from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. So once again, One Union has welcomed the latest assurance by Finance Minister David Tanku as it pertains to ongoing salary negotiation during the 2026 mid-year budget review. Tanku sent a message to nurses, teachers, and anyone currently at the bargaining table that relief was on its way. President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Nurses Association, ID Stewart, has welcomed the announcement. Trinidad and Tobago.
Appreciation to the Honorable Minister Tanku, Minister of Finance, for his clear and unambiguous statement, and given that commitment that during the substantive October budget, that clear allocation would be made towards nursing and military personnel, and by extension, we envision all regional health authority workers to receive a salary increase.
So viewers, when contacted, Chief Education and Research Officer of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, Ozzy Warwick, said the union will give a statement on Labor Day. The National Nursing Association president said that while this is only the beginning, the discussion will now move towards the proposed timeline with its member who will vote on the matter. So Trinidad and Tobago, that is what they say. But the most important thing, viewers, the most important thing is that we are seeing Minister Tanku, who is trying to put things in place for the workers. For the workers. Now, when last did government workers or PSA workers got a back pay? When last? This is what we ask ourselves. When last? And at what price? What percentage? So Devendra Tanku is telling the teachers and the nurses that have a little strain, you're getting your money, we are in discussion, and by 2027, you're going to get your back pay. Also, Trinidad and Tobago, the finance minister has indicated that the government is looking to secure $64.2 million in funding to support the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. More on this. Story 2.
The Ministry of Defense, Head 84, $39.2 million is being allocated to finance filling of contract positions, upgrade of equipment at the National Coastal Surveillance Radar Center, hosting the 2026 Independence Speaker Head 64 Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, $64.2 million to purchase much-needed uniforms, rent for properties, rental of vehicles, meals for officers working during Carnival, for prisoners at various holding units, repairs and maintenance of buildings, gratuity payments, and IT subscriptions and software maintenance.
In response, the head of the Police Social and Welfare Association, ASP Ishmael Pitt, said, "This proposed funding boost is vital for the TTPS to carry out its operation effectively." Listen to this, viewers.
Well, that is excellent. It is a step in the right direction. You see, we have always indicated that in order for the police service to function at optimum, we must be appropriately resourced. So we are very, very encouraged by the gesture in terms of they providing the necessary in order that these different areas within the organization, the issues are addressed.
So viewers, Finance Minister Tanku further noted that the state is also seeking $39.2 million for the Defense Force, with a portion of those funds set aside to host this year's Independence Day Parade.
The Ministry of Defense, Head 84, $39.2 million is being allocated to finance filling of contract positions, upgrade of equipment at the National Coastal Surveillance Radar Center, hosting the 2026 Independence Day Parade, purchase of uniforms for members of the Defense Force, and for repairs and maintenance of the 4 Air Guard helicopters, Mr. Speaker.
So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, eh? Listen to this, eh? Remember Kamala Prasad, BCSR came out and told us about a secret list, P&M secret list that T&TEC has. Now listen to this. Former Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have stated that the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission maintains an internal list of high-profile customers, including ministers, judges, and diplomats, to monitor accounts flagged for disconnection or unusual activities. In a Facebook post on Monday, Gonzalez said, "The list exists solely to allow T&TEC to contact those customers if issue arise with their account and does not exempt them from paying electricity bills." His comments came in response to allegations raised by Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa in Parliament concerning a perpetrated protected list of customers linked to the People's National Movement. Gonzalez said he had researched the matter and has been reliably informed that the list was an internal administrative tool used by the Commission. He maintained that customers on the list he maintained that customers on the list can continue to receive bills and remain subject to T&TEC payment requirement. He challenged the PM to prove otherwise and authorized the release of his T&TEC billing records for the past 10 years. So Trinidad and Tobago, I believe Keith Rowley came out today on social media and posted his electricity bill. Electricity bill, imagine that, eh? Imagine that. So what I would like to know now, and I would like someone from T&TEC, the directors of T&TEC, can they come out and tell the nation if what Mr. Gonzalez is saying is true, or if what the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bisa is saying is true. This is what we need. You see, Trinidad and Tobago, in Parliament, there's a tit for tat in Parliament. There's a do and a don't. And the only way we the citizen could take heed and pay attention to this and to know if there is some sort of scheme taking place. Someone from T&TEC needs to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago who is actually talking the truth. Is it Marvin Gonzalez or is it Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bisa? And that is what we need clarity on. Because, I'll tell you this, if any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago owes T&TEC, you will get a bill saying due for disconnection, and then T&TEC will come and disconnect you for $5 or $10 or your arrears. But to have companies in Trinidad and Tobago not paying their light bill, that's a serious thing. That's a serious thing. Because T&TEC presently need a lot of millions of dollars to upgrade their system. So can the truth be told by the directors of T&TEC, electricity company for Trinidad and Tobago, because this needs some clarification. We have two ministers going at each other with two different scenarios. And this is what we need, clarity. Clarity is what we need. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. When we come back, we're going to hear Rowley denies T&TEC list. More when we read it.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have posted what he said was his latest electricity bill as he continued to reject the claims that he benefited from special treatment at the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, that is T&TEC. In a Facebook post today, Rowley shared a copy of the bill and pointed to what he said was evidence that his account was up to date. He also reiterated his denial of any knowledge of a list allegedly used to shield certain customers from disconnection. The post follows allegations made by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bisa during her contribution to the mid-year budget review in Parliament yesterday. Hours later, Rowley posted on social media saying he was unaware of any such list and insisting that both he and his wife paid their electricity bill when due. Rowley also criticized Prime Minister over this allegation. So you see, Trinidad and Tobago, this is what we need clarity on. This is what we need clarity on, this special list. This special list, because I want to let you understand something. Marvin Gonzalez confirmed that T&TEC maintained an internal list of high-profile customers, including ministers, judges, and diplomats, to monitor accounts flagged for disconnection or unusual activity. So ministers, so I want to get this correct. So judges, diplomats, high-profile ministers, T&TEC monitor these individuals. According to Marvin, monitor these individuals to account flagged for disconnection or unusual activity. So how is it that you're only using ministers and judges and diplomats to monitor accounts? So you see just how we the citizen have our 30 days or our 60 days to go and pay a light bill is the same as a minister or judges or any diplomat. You have to go and pay your bills. You must know when your bill is due. How you just know when you have to go in the grocery? And you didn't realize your grocery running out? How does you know when to fill gas or diesel in your vehicle? And you just monitor it to know when it's running out? So why it is not that T&TEC had to monitor these ministers or these judges or these diplomats? They don't know when they had to pay their bills? Such a sad thing, you know, boy. It's such a sad thing, you know, that T&TEC had to monitor these bills. T&TEC monitor everyone's bill. Because if you don't pay a bill, you'll get disconnected. So are these judges and diplomats and ministers getting preferential treatment? This is what I want to find out. Are they getting special treatment according to Marvin Gonzalez? This is what I'm saying sometime. Tit for tat in the parliament. Who's coming out to tell us the truth? Who? While the citizen wonders what is really taking place in the parliament. Nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless, hopefully we will sort out that in the coming days and weeks. Switching gears, opposition MP for Port of Spain South, Keith Scotland, is calling on Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar to make a claim against him outside of the protection of parliamentary privilege regarding the handling of the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission (T&TEC) claim against Flavorite Food Limited. Scotland also noted that he was no longer actively practicing law during part of the period, having suspended his legal practice while serving in cabinet. Listen to this.
We have done the claim, we did the entry for judgment in default of appearance on Flavorite, and to presume or to make an allegation that because Montai is some PNM member, that there was some collusion to suppress a T&TEC matter is a serious allegation. And I call upon her to make those allegations outside of the parliament because I have all my documentations. And also, one would recall, in late 2024, up to 2025, the elections, I was not in practice. I gave up my briefs because I was a member of the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago.
The MP denied denied any wrongdoing in the handling of the T&TEC claim against Flavorite. Scotland said there was no document under his handling indicating that anything that was filed was not filed, as he maintained that the matter was not stated bad. He reiterated his call for Prime Minister to repeat those allegations outside Parliament. Trying to make listen to this one more time.
At no time will you see one document come in under the hand of Keith Scotland that anything was filed that was not filed. Secondly, the action is not statute barred because in 2024, the claim on behalf of T&TEC is refiled, and we have a stamped request for entry of judgment in default of appearance. They have taken back their files, but whatever happened after that is no concern of ours. And in those circumstances, I invite the Prime Minister to make these claims outside of the Parliament.
Call a good night.
Good night, Saieed. I cannot understand, why is it, we have this racial, division. Since Eric William days, which the PNM said was father of the PNM, not the nation. You remember he used our term recalcitrant Indians are a recalcitrant minority. So from since then, you remember the Tobago issue where this fella, I can't remember his name, talking about Calcutta ship is coming for you. And the leadership of the PNM never tried to apologize for these coming. Now you have this little boy, I don't know, as the Prime Minister described him, that he don't have a brain or whatever. Now look at his attack on Indians again, saying plain, he don't like them and them don't like he.
Yes.
Now, Penny did not come out and say nothing. Why is this concentrated attack on the Indians? I can't understand why the PNM is standing like this, trying to stymie the progress. Now look where the crime is concerned. That's also what the appropriate, I feel that is the appropriate way to deal with the crime. Secondly, this thing with all this construction that is being held up by the procurement. These are PNM, Basdeo Pandey said so, that the PNM would be out of government, but will still be in power. Now look at this latest fiasco, where you have parliamentary staff are muting. So it appears that PNM still have control, and I'm saying for every time they walk out of Parliament, salary should be deducted. You are there to conduct the business of the government, and I cannot understand why they are allowing, this kind of thing. These are the people who is hindering the progress. Our country is going good, and I'm appealing to the right-thinking citizens. Do not take on the PNM, because you could imagine, Sai, had the PNM won that election, where they were going more contractors, where billions was paid to the financiers.
Correct.
Look at with these T&TEC issues now. High-ranking officials was not paying T&TEC bills, and then they had the audacity to come out and want to increase rates for the small man. You could imagine a man getting disconnected with $200 and $300. You could imagine a man say you cannot cook with coal pot and breadfruit and ride bicycles, but then getting free current and all these things, sir. What kind of hypocrisy? I am calling on the Prime Minister, sir, and the government. These people should be made to account for misbehavior in public office. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Tobago, you all remember the time Marvin Gonzalez wanted to tell the citizens of Tobago that we had to pay more light bill, and T&TEC needs money. T&TEC was in debt, and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago had to contribute to bail out T&TEC. You all remember that? You all remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? Call a good night. Hello? Hello? Stick it, get the click. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. When we come back, Scotland hits back at Prime Minister's T&TEC claim. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, staying on Scotland. Scotland accused the government of attempting to damage his reputation, but vows to continue speaking out on issues he considered unjust. Speaking on the matter of an alleged T&TEC secret list, Scotland said he knew nothing about any secret list.
I know nothing about any secret list. It is something that comes as a surprise to me, and that's all I would say. I noticed my name was not on it, but my name featured very prominently in this statement made by the Honorable Prime Minister, and as prominent as it was made, I will defend it with the prominence that it deserves.
So Trinidad and Tobago, this secret list and this free electricity has the citizen wondering what is really taking place. A company owing $2.5 million, and then we have T&TEC, and then we have ministers now who getting free electricity in this country. So that is a big thing that is taking place. While the normal citizen is being cut for a little arrears as much as $100 or less, we have ministers benefiting with free electricities from a secret list, according to Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Kola, good night.
Hi, good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live, my dear.
Yes, just imagine this. I know my Prime Minister will search up things and find what's taking place. Look what's taking place. So much money.
Yes.
They don't want to pay the light bill, but you are the small man. You're owing a little two something, a little
yes,
one
correct.
something. They quick to cut you. And look at what's taking place in this country. But I'm glad it happened that way. You understand? They have to pay back.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to pay back because I find that is so unjust for we, the small men, the taxpayers. They're digging the dam, so they're saying that they could do what they want.
Correct.
And do us what they feel. But thank God, it's our God. And whatever in the darkness come to light. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. So Trinidad and Tobago, switching gears a bit, we're moving on to Barry Padarat. The Minister of Public Utilities says the government is moving to ease the water woes facing rural communities. Speaking during the debate on the finance supplementation and variation of appropriation bill on Monday night, Mr. Padarat said, an unreliable supply of pipe-borne water will soon be a thing of the past for communities in Central and South Trinidad. Viewers, you know what I don't understand? 10 years. For 10 years, the PNM ruled Trinidad and Tobago. We live in a 2x2 country. A population of 1.45 million people. And you want to tell me in the 20th century, 8 communities in Trinidad and Tobago still suffering for water. Talk of the town is that the PNM administration governed Trinidad and Tobago for 63 years. For 63 years, a 2x2 country with 1.45 million people and households cannot get water. They cannot get water. And it stinks for ministers that is holding the public utility ministry. You want to tell me, I hear you. I hear you. You want to tell me that 1.4 million people or 1.5 million people cannot get a 24-hour water supply, and we're hearing billions of dollars. We are hearing billions of dollars going missing, and billions of dollars are being wasted on the ministers. The sad thing about it is these ministers are from right here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's such a sad, degrading thing. It stinks. It sucks to know that these individuals are MPs for community. It stinks. It stinks. I live in Trinidad and Tobago, and I am telling those ministers, it stinks. It's a disgrace to know all this sitting down in Parliament and all the community. You don't have proper roads. You don't have proper street light. You don't have proper community centers. You don't have a proper recreation ground. You don't have proper roads. You don't have proper bridges. But every month, all are collecting a salary with perks, no VATs, no taxes, and it stinks to know all are living right in the community. It stinks. It's a disgrace to have members living in a community and the community don't have the basic necessities. I wonder how ministers feeling. Whether you be UNC, whether you be PNM, how you all feel to come out and face the population knowing that your community don't have. I heard Clongenberg saying, for years now his community don't have water. And he's the Minister of Finance. And watch me now, it stinks. Clongenberg should I feel shame. Cover your head with a black bag. Cover your damn head with a black bag. You should shame to walk these streets in your community. All your soul should be living on a ship on the ocean. You know why? You want to know why? Knowing you're a minister for 9 years in a community and your community telling you they may have no water. It stinks. What is your purpose in your community? Tell Trinidad and Tobago what is your purpose. You ain't feeling shame and embarrassed to come in Parliament and tell parliamentarians and to tell the population that you live in your community and years you ain't had no water. You ain't shame? Prime Minister, you ain't shame? Well, boy, let me tell you something. If all ain't shame, my father used to have a saying like this. My father used to always say, anytime you hear you ain't shame, it's because dog eat your shame. I'll ever hear the old people saying that? Trying to make all ever hear the old people saying that? But let me tell you something, it stinks and it sucks to know we have ministers and councillors, and your community don't have good road? What is your purpose? Why are you serving the people and representing the people of Trinidad and Tobago when you can't do nothing? You cannot do nothing for your community. The former Minister of Education had no shame, no moral standards to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago that it's the P&M children that is causing the fights. And it's the P&M children that is causing the dismay and the disruption in classes with fighting and bullying. Let me tell you something. It's a stinking shame and disgrace to the P&M people that P&M minister come out and say that on a platform. And that is what all they're supporting. So the P&M people who supporting that P&M minister to tell the nation that it's all your P&M children who coming out to cause bullying and fight in school, that is what they're supporting? Is that what all they're supporting? Is them as the kind of ministers who putting down all you're supporting? It's such a disgrace, eh? It is such a stinking disgrace to know that happening right in our 2x2 country. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual. And you are quite right. They are disgraced, the politicians in this country. They are disgraced. They must tell the citizens up to this day what they did good for this country to carry this country forward or make the citizens' life happier in this country. Tell the citizens, Mr. Said, and wherever you go, people praise you, not the politicians. People say you are doing more than what politicians do for this country. You are doing more for the citizens of this country than the politicians, because you give the citizens hope and strength that we feel somebody standing for it wherever you go in this country. And people remind me all the time, they would like to call a program, but some of them don't get through on it. They remind me, never forget what is the criteria to be a politician in this country. A notorious thief, a liar, a crook, and a scam. And you see it every day. You think Gonzalo have any problem to get U.S. currency? You think Dialsing have any problem? You think Rowley have any problem to get U.S. currency? It's the citizen of this country, the ordinary man, like me and you. Well, I travel in a kind of $1 US, but them getting, all of them. So when you look at it and you analyze it well, you say, boy, they all are one day in the same boat. They sing, Gypsy got sing a call so years ago about that, they're in the same boat. All of them in the same boat. They're doing injustice thought and like they get happiness to do that. Anyway, and this Marcel fella, our African brothers and sisters today, they have strengthened up themselves, and because of your great program too, they understand, So that Marcel fella, he only talking a pack of rubbish, and he can cite our African brothers and sisters to go against the Indian. We live in harmony with each other, and we'll continue doing that and live in harmony. Anyway, Mr. Said, I want to highlight something on your program. One of our citizens died in Mexico. A young boy, a young engineer that is working on the Manatee platform that is being constructed in Mexico. He died yesterday morning. He's an engineer. And his family is trying to get the body to come back to Trinidad. And it's real problem they are going through, the family is going through. So I know when I highlight it on your program, you have politicians and other people who are listening to your program, and they probably will get in contact with the family and help this family. And in Mexico, they are saying, look, a relative needs to go there within 3 days to claim the body. So members who are there with him, his colleagues, are saying, well, look, if the parents send a signed document, a document signed by them, they can carry it to the hospital and get the body released, the morgue. But they are saying within 3 days, he died yesterday morning, so we have today and tomorrow, and by Friday, if nobody comes to claim the body, they will bury the body. They will bury that body in Mexico. I mean, it's real sad. I have people that I know, and they have been crying and crying there, you know, some of my colleagues. So I know people are hearing, politicians are hearing, and I hope somebody will respond to this and help this family. Mr. Said, great program. God bless you and yourself. You keep up the great work you're doing. Thank you.
Condolences to the family, but I believe Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sean Zobers, they could contact his office and he would probably intervene on the family behalf, seeing that it is a foreign, the Trinidad national died in Mexico, so it's a foreign thing. So Trinidad and Tobago, Padarathi assures affected communities that the government is moving to fix the problem they face in these communities. Listen to this.
I want to tell the people of Central Trinidad, they were telling my colleague in Caroni Central, when we are completed with the water treatment plant in Freeport, in your own constituency, I give you the assurance, by the end of the year, the people of Central Trinidad will stop suffering for water in this country. I could tell my colleague in Mayaro and Maruga Tableland and in Siparia, when we are finished with that desalination and transmission line in those areas, the people of those areas will see significant progress.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Padarathi also noted that residents in Tobago have also not been forgotten. Listen to this.
People in Tobago had to depend on one pump servicing an entire island. The Honorable Prime Minister has told me, Barry, Minister, you have to find the money, work with Minister of Finance. We have sent over the CEO and Chairman of WASA just recently to meet with the Chief Secretary, and I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, and give you the assurance that we are working with our counterparts across here to fix that challenge.
So viewers, what I don't understand, being a Trinbagonian, Dr. Keith Rowley is from Tobago, born and bred in Tobago. You come from Tobago. You have a house in Tobago. Your family's in Tobago. You have a farm in Tobago. You're boasting about Tobago after you come out of politics. So how is it that Tobago, with a couple 100,000 people, have to suffer for water on the island? How is it Tobago is not one of the best tourist attraction country in the Caribbean? How is it that Tobago still suffering? How is it? How is it, Dr. Rowley? You were there as the minister, the prime minister, for 9 solid years. And yet Tobago is suffering. Imagine there a few weeks back, when the boat stalled and couldn't go back and forth to Tobago, the prime minister came out and said, well, I suffer for feed for my animal. Let me tell you something. It was a shame and disgrace. It was a shame and stinking nasty disgrace to know a former prime minister, he's a former prime minister, had to come out and say, oh, I'm suffering for feed for my animal. And you was the prime minister that governed Trinidad and Tobago for 9 long years. What a stinking disgrace. So when I hear Marcel come out and say, they hate we in the north, and they hate we in the south, and they hate we down in Arima, and they hate we down in Sando. I want to ask Marcel on national television, what have you done for the people of Laventille to make sure that their community is upgraded and they don't have to rob people? I want to ask Marcel that. Because you have to be an illiterate clown, somebody who have no education, to go up on a platform and tell Trinidad and Tobago they hate we in the north, and they hate we in the south, and they hate we in the west. That had to be a man without education. That had to be a man without standard. That had to be a man who doesn't know what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. And you, Mr. Marcel, is an MP for the community. You are a lawyer, and that is your hate speech that you had for Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. The only people supporting you is the PNM people. Caller, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, I just want to touch on three things very quickly. Right? Listen, right? You see this whole secret list that they're talking about, right? I see the former Prime Minister post up a bill, right? Let me tell you something, right? These people are no shame, right? All that money they're getting as MPs and ministers, and still they were free current, right? How much they take from the citizens, right?
I'm
This
telling
I
you.
know, and remember Marvin Gonzalez come and tell them we have $1 billion debt that he wanted me to pay in debt.
Correct. That's why I just told the people.
People can remember that. Let me tell you something. Keith Rowley knew that we have an illiterate population. Let me tell you something, right? T&TEC emailing you a bill now and you can pay a bill online. So that bill he posted, that ain't saying nothing.
Correct.
What the Prime Minister come out and saying is that is a protected list of people not to be disconnected if they don't pay their bills. Right? What? And let me tell you something. She wouldn't get a list just so. And she will jump out in Parliament just so to risk herself.
Correct.
False information. People that understand that. What I want to see and listen to the population, she get her information from T&TEC. So what Keith Rowley had to come out now with is information showing where he was the Prime Minister and showing where he paid the bills every single month. Until he could do that, he can't come and justify nothing with a T&TEC bill because I could go and print my bill now in a printer and show everybody.
Correct.
There's nothing hard to do. Don't you tell me if I'm wrong on the side. Number two, this behavior that Keith Scotland getting out in Parliament. Let me tell you something. Always the people that making the laws in the land, right? And the youth looking at the way all they behave in Parliament. So if all they behaving so in Parliament, all they leaving for the youth that are going to school.
Correct.
And when they're going and fighting in school and car bouncing them all about in the road and things, people watching and saying why they getting on so. Or they taking an example from the politicians. All they had to set the example for the youth. You understand what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
But people not understanding inside our Parliament what is really going on, boy.
Correct.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And people need to take it on.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, the minister also stated that 551 persons were hired by WASA through a transparent process, saying it represents a break from the past when he claimed recruitment was influenced by friends and family and financiers network. Listen to this.
I have nothing to hide. I am not ashamed to say I hired, through WASA, this government, 551 persons. I am not ashamed of that. They went through a process. They applied for the jobs. And the HR department of WASA, they made those determinations of who qualified for short-term employment. This wasn't a case of a minister ringing up anybody inside of WASA and say, I am a friend and I am a sister, you know. But Mr. Speaker, let me tell you what was happening in WASA.
So viewers, we can leave that there until our next. I have more videos and I read thing from Parliament, you know. But we go into this. During Monday's midterm budget review presentation, Finance Minister David Tanku announced that the administration is requesting more than $450 million to keep the fuel subsidy going. Remember, the government pays a subsidy for our fuel. Now, he emphasized that the state has already poured millions into protecting citizens from rising global energy costs. Listen to this.
Head 40, the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, $454 million to settle subsidy liabilities owed to the National Petroleum Marketing Company Limited and the UNIPET, Mr. Speaker. To shield citizens from significant increases in the international energy prices and maintain fuel price stability, approximately $395 million was expended on fuel subsidies during the period October 1st, 2025 to May 30th, 2026.
Now viewers, during the debate, Minister of Energy and Energy Industry, Dr. Rudal Munilal pointed out that fuel subsidy adjustments are a routine part of mid-year budget review. He brought up last year where the subsidy costs were far higher, noting times when no funds were even set aside to handle the deficit. Listen to this.
And in 2018, 1.4 billion, and look at this, budgetary allocation for shortfall in subsidy, 0. All the years we have had, by the way, all the years we have had. And this year, of course, budgetary allocation for shortfall, 500 million for this year. But you will continue owing because the subsidy has a relationship to the price of oil. We all know that as well. When the price of oil went up, the subsidy would increase.
So viewers, Dr. Munilal further explained that it is standard practice for the state to have rolling subsidy debits or debts with NP and UNIPED, given that those two suppliers simultaneously owes money to Paria Fuel Trading Company. So Trinidad and Tobago, that is something that goes on from time to time. Also, Finance Minister Clongimbert has accused the government of dishonestly taking credit for Trinidad and Tobago improves Moody outlook from a negative to a stable status. Wait, wasn't a few years back, wasn't Clongimbert said the one that we don't need a Moody rating? Wasn't him the one saying that? Trinidad and Tobago don't need a Moody rating? I want to let you remember, Clongimbert always saying Trinidad and Tobago is having a boom in the oil and gas sector until we are doomed. I believe Clongimbert is the one who said that they don't need a Moody rating, but now he's accusing the government now of work that the PNM administration did to give Trinidad and Tobago, according to Moody, a stable reading. Now, Imbert rebutted claims by Finance Minister Devendra Tanku that there was an improvement thanks to UNC. He said T&T already had a stable outlook before it was revised to negative in December 2025, arguing that the latest adjustment returned the country to its earlier position. Listen to this, viewers.
Trinidad and Tobago's outlook from negative to stable. What the minister did not say is that when the UNC came into office, Trinidad and Tobago's outlook was already stable, and they sent it negative in December 2025. Moody's revised Trinidad and Tobago's outlook from stable to negative. So that all that has happened is that we are back in the same place that we were in May of 2025. And why are we back in the same place? The minister said that the elevation, I don't understand what that means, because he sent us negative, we now come back stable. It's due to the great fiscal and financial management of the UNC government. That is simply not true.
Trinidad and Tobago, there's a lot to discuss, but we are out of time for tonight. A rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here another night at 7 p.m. for us to go live again. Until then, this is Saieed saying,